All right, YouTube, here we go. So I wanted to get more into back to fitness. We're getting back to fitness, but I really wanted to talk about, like, a lot of people believe that they're going to reach their end goal in like 3 months. They believe they're going to put on 50 pounds of muscle and lose 40 pounds of fat in 3 months. And it's just not possible. It's just not going to happen, right? It takes time to get to your results. And the thing is, what people do not realize is that you have to become the person that you need to become to reach your goals, to maintain your goals. But people are so fixated on just a short-term result or a fast result or the quickest result, always looking for the quickest way, not looking at the person they're becoming. For example, I like to compare this shit to credit, because a lot of people want to raise their credit score and things like that, right? So in order to raise their credit score, they'll do different experience boosts, they'll hire sketchy people, they'll do all this random stuff. They'll do everything except become the person that's good at having good credit, right? Except becoming the person that naturally makes the best decisions to have good credit. For example, me, my credit score was like 440 when it first started. It's all the way up. It got all the way up to like 780 at one point. I don't really check it anymore. But the way the credit score got up is when I developed better habits, developed better mindset around spending money on a credit card, right? That's when your credit goes up, not when you do all these sketchy experience boosts and you hire these sketchy people, like you pay them and they're like, oh, we're going to clean up your credit. No. You have to become a person who makes good decisions in order for your credit to go up, right? When your utilization rate is low, when you have a lot of accounts open, when you pay everything back on time, when you're that kind of person that has integrity, right, and you don't overspend and you manage your spending, your credit goes up, right? Simple. Same thing with fitness. People want the fast results, but they don't realize when you become the person that executes on nutrition, when you become the person that shows up to the gym consistently, tracks your calories, tracks your lifting, get the amount of sleep you need to get the water intake that you need to get, and you're consistent with that, that's when the results come, right? It's not when you're trying to speed run, like, oh, let me lose, 20 pounds in 2 weeks by doing keto. That's not how you get there, right? That's a short-term solution. That's not a long-term solution. This is a long-term goal. A lot of you guys don't realize that. A lot of you guys, every single January, right? I'm mentioning this because January is coming up. Every single January, people hit me up and they say, hey man, like, I'm gonna get like you in 4 months. I can't believe it took you 6 months to get there. I'm gonna get like you in 4 months. I'm like, bro, I lost fat in 5 months. I lost a lot of fat in 5 months by locking in and becoming a new person, right? However, I built a lot of muscle over the years. Right now, you're 40% body fat and you have very low muscle mass. So in order for you to go from 40% to 10% with high muscle mass, that's not going to take 3 months. That's going to take way longer than that. But a lot of people are like, nah, man, I'm going to lock in. And they think because they finally made a decision to do the bare minimum, that science is going to change for them and they're just going to get the results in 3 months. That's not how it fucking works. You have to be consistent. You have to put the work in. You have to really want it. But even when you don't want it, even when you have a bad day, even when you're not motivated, you still got to fucking show up. Like, you're just not reaching those results overnight. A lot of people are like, hey man, I see what you did. It's not that good though, because I'm going to do keto and I'm going to do carnivore and I'm going to eat 200 grams of protein. I'll get there faster than you. It's not about who gets there faster. Matter of fact, you can only lose so much fat at once and you could only gain so much muscle at once. Like I said, majority of people that are asking these questions or saying these things are 30-40% body fat, very low muscle mass. In order to get lean and aesthetic, right, in order to build your chest, in order to build your shoulders, it takes time. It takes years of lifting, lean bulking, gaining muscle, getting stronger. All of that takes time. You can't get stronger in 1 week. You're not going to go from a 135 bench to a 315 bench in 1 week. It's never happened before. It's not happening. Unless you hop on trend or some shit. But that's just not happening. A lot of people have that misconception that, like, oh yeah, I'm going to build muscle faster. You can only build muscle so fast, right? Your first year lifting, you're going to gain 15 to 25 pounds of muscle. That's a lot, but it's still week by week, right? Day in and day out executing. You're not gaining 25 pounds of muscle in 2 weeks unless you hop on gear. I know you guys seen Alex Eubank hop on gear and he gained like 10 pounds in a week or some shit, but you're not naturally gaining 15 pounds in a week. It's going to take time. So a lot of you guys, you have a goal or you want to look lean and aesthetic. Stop focusing so much on the scale, right? Stop focusing so much on the scale and realize that in order for you to get the physique you're looking for, first, you got to lean bulk, right? If you're skinny, you got to lean bulk. But if you're overweight, you got to cut down and then add muscle. It's a process, all right? Start looking at it as a long-term process. Start looking at it as, okay, I'm going to do what it takes to reach that goal, and I'm going to be consistent no matter what, because you have to realize the time's going to pass regardless. You have to be consistent, and you have to realize it's a long-term thing. Stop thinking of that shit as short-term. Too many people have a lottery mindset regarding the fitness journey. It's just not how it works. You do not just be like, you know what, I'm making a decision today. I'm going to lose 40 pounds of fat and gain 20 pounds of muscle in 2 months. You can't just make up random shit. A lot of you guys have these unrealistic, random expectations that have nothing to do with science, have nothing to do with what's realistic, have nothing to do with what happens when you lock in. Now, you're going to get results when you lock in, but you're not reaching your end goal in 3 months. It's not happening. Unless you've been lifting for, 5 years and you're about 20% body fat and you're just trying to get down to about 12% body fat, then you can get to your end goal in 3 months because you've already been lifting. But you got to put the time in. You have to. You can't skip the time. You can't skip the effort. You can't skip the work. Like, you guys try to find every way to skip the work. You cannot skip the work. You got to lock in. You got to focus. A lot of people are like, hey, man, I'm going to get you results in this. No, you're not. Right? Because you think it's a few inputs for a few weeks to get you to that results. No, it's inputs day in and day out for the rest of your life, right? It's inputs day in and day out until you reach your goals, and then you keep going because now that's your habits. And a lot of you guys are like, how long should I cut weight? How long should I do this? The answer is until. The answer is until. Until what? Until you reach your goals. And then you keep going because now you set bigger goals. Like, there is no just like, hey, how long should I be in a calorie deficit if I'm trying to lose 40 pounds? No. No. Just become the person who surrounds yourself with healthier foods and be in a calorie deficit until you reach your goals. And then once you reach your goals, you should be still eating the same stuff because that's your new habits. Here's the thing. A lot of you guys think that all you have to do to reach your goals is do keto. And you've tried this multiple times and you failed. You think all you have to do is do keto, right? As soon as you're done doing keto or carnivore and you lost the amount of weight you're trying to lose, not the amount of fat, but the amount of weight you want to lose, you go back to your old habits. That's called the yo-yo effect. You're never going to reach your goals that way. That's a short-term solution, not a long-term solution. Doesn't make any sense. You're putting a Band-Aid on something that needs surgery. It's a deeper issue. You have to change the foundation, all right? You have to change the foundation. I know you guys watch like Love It or List It or, the HGTV channel. Like, a lot of times those homes, they got to change the foundation. That's what you guys got to do. You guys got to work on the foundation. You're trying to mop some shit. You're trying to just mop the floor, make it look nice from the outside when the foundation is weak. All right, you got to build the roots. It takes time. You can't have the fruit before you have the roots. You guys are unwilling to build the roots, to be patient, to do what it takes day in and day out. That's where the issue comes in. That is where the issue comes in. All right, you guys are just like, you know what? I just want the fruit. I just want the fruit. Instant gratification. Instant gratification. No, you need to delay gratification because the goal you're looking for, anything you're worth having takes time. The goal you're looking for is going to take time. That's number one. Number two, what I wanted to say is the reason I tell you guys to read books is because when you read books and you consume different content from positive people, you start to realize all their stories kind of align. You start to notice patterns. You're like, oh, okay, they failed a bunch of times. They failed more times than I even tried. But that's why they got to where they're trying to get to. You see what I'm saying? Like, I failed so many times on my journey, but the amount of times I failed is about 20 times, 20, probably 100 times more than you even tried. You see what I'm saying? So those stories will inspire you and they'll make you realize that, oh, okay, like, I haven't been locked in for long enough. I haven't done enough for long enough.